Hey everybody, we are going to jump into a Throne of Eldraine Best of One draft. Thank you for joining me. It is a Friday. We are happy to have made it through our week. It's been a good week around here. Some people are hyped for Friday Night Magic. If you are a Seattle local and you're hyped about Friday Night Magic, you should definitely check out Mox Boarding House Seattle and Mox Boarding House Bellevue. They're premier physical game store destinations. The Card Kingdom has redefined what the game store is through their brick and mortar stores in Seattle, but more likely my audience is going to be better able to take advantage of Card Kingdom's website, and you can get to that via my affiliate link down below in the panels. cardkingdom.com is gonna have everything you need for your paper Magic game, whether it's supplies, singles, or sealed product, and probably the most competitive buy list in the game, in the industry, in the market. So if you're ever looking to sell cards, be sure to check their buy list out and consider the 30% bonus you could get by selling stuff to them for store credit if you want to take a little edge off of some of the new stuff that you're trying to find. And thank you, Trink G, for that sub. Appreciate that. And let's get in it. We got 5,000 gold, so we're gonna get some free gems today no matter what, and we're at almost 22k. We just keep pushing up the gems. Our incredible incredible streak going in the best of 3. I'm chuckling because those of you who've been playing along with us, literally the last 4 rares to fill out my free-to-play Eldraine collection were Clackbridge Trolls. We opened 10 packs, and there were 4 Clackbridge Trolls in there and no other rares because I had 0 Clackbridge Trolls and 4 of literally every other rare in the set. And we were musing that I had never opened one. And then we drafted on the paid account, opened a Clackbridge Troll, and now we've drafted this. So basically, the last 6 rares that we've pulled from Eldraine packs have all been Clackbridge Trolls. So apparently Improbable Alliance is going to wheel or whatever. Apparently this card goes super late. But Clackbridge is just such an easy pack one, pick one. And the only other good black card here, there's only other one black card. It's Tempting Witch. It's not that high of a pick, such that one of the great things about picking Troll here and knowing how rigid the bots are is that we're giving no fodder for bots downstream to settle into black. And so that matters to me when it's less reliable against humans, but against bots, it matters enough that we should really pay attention to give a nod towards cutting black cards from here. These 2 aren't worth cutting, though. This is bad. This, well, historically is wheeled. If they adjusted the bots, I could see Forever Young going up in the order, but we're not, despite me saying blackness is a factor here because we want to cut black to support the playability of the Clackbridge Troll, it's not something we would do overtaking an adversary or even considering a Wintermoor commander. Black-white's not the worst, but I think Clackbridge is really nice in green-black. It's just such a grindy pair. So, yeah, we could also take, we could take gems. We could take gems, and of course we have 4 of everything now on rares, so that is just, and we could take Dance and also try and have fun with it. But Adversary is pretty great. This is a card that is not just a 1-for-1. It can end up being a 2-for-1 or better. So it starts to creep into my territory of like, yeah, and also we're not best of 3, where rare drafting is more rewarded. So Adversary is just better, but gems, it's not instant gems. This is instant gems, which is a big deal. Yeah, if you draft rares you already have 4 of, you get 20 gems, which is exactly the point. Does the Adversary increase our win percentage to the tune of 20 plus gems? If not, we should just take Dance because that's worth 20 gems right now. That's the debatable question, but also we're allowed to have fun if we want. And I want to take Adversary and see about maybe a sweet green-black deck. This doesn't really support that though. What do we take here? I don't see taking Sword Master. Again, Funeral. I was talking about cutting black cards, but these cards are just not, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about black cards get a little boost, but not above solid playables. James says, I doubt it's worth 20 gems average given we don't know if we're green yet. And that's exactly why I tend to rare draft more heavily early. And if you rare drafted there in your, like, if you didn't like this and in my spot, you would have rare drafted, I salute you. It was probably gem correct because, yeah, we might not be green at all. So to this end, we can take a boring carriage that is, like, playable but not great. There's value in taking those artifacts in these spots where we're trying to understand what's going on, but there's also value in taking a flyer in something that you know there's a strong chance you won't play, but if you do play, it's going to be one of your best cards. We could take Lock Dragon, you know, and if we abandon both of these and end up in mono blue, mono red, or red blue, we'd be thrilled with that, for example. But yeah, exactly. Is it that great? Is it that worth it? And I'd probably, the argument would be better instead of these two saying something like a Witching Well. You like this Pimp My Ride? Well, I guess I want to take it and move on. Let's try and listen to the bots though. We've all noted that the red cards seem to be going late. We've passed one dwarf already. We could take a dwarf on spec of wheeling the other one, or be aware that this one might wheel as well. I like, you know, we ended up mono red yesterday. Let's keep an eye on, you know, maybe red is the new open color on Arena, because that's kind of what happens when they change bots. Something else becomes the new open color. Yeah, but here, I think Well is the best card. I'm just going to take it. Yeah, this pack is pretty weak. We can take Weasel back in case we do end up, because red seems underdrafted. I take the Well though. Is Well or Weasel back? What a confusing start though. I'm not into Brute for the openness. I'm into wheeling Brutes and then considering whether they belong in my deck. Reaper, Tree Folk, Shield Breaker. But yeah, I mean, I guess take Reaper here, and it does support our best card. Let's do that. Although, yeah, you can make an argument for Tree Folk too. I'm going to take Reaper and try to play this Troll. And to that end, I think we take Lost Legion here. There's a second Reaper, a first Swordmaster. Yes, Legion or Swordmaster. What do you think? Yeah, this Witching Wells looks like was a mistake in that not in a hindsight, only in a hindsight way. You get a little, we call it vault progress. If you take an uncommon or a common you already have 4 of, it puts percentage towards this invisible vault that when you fill up to 100% gets you more wild cards. But it's a none of these cards matter, so take the uncommon type deal. Yeah, Woodrow, you missed it. Pack 1, pick 1, Clackbridge Troll. I'm not kidding. Yeah, we'll take Swordmaster. See if we can force the issue here. This makes me happy we took Swordmaster. Of course, we could also lean into some green here. This is a reasonable place to take a Rider, an Egg. But I think we do want to just try and trap the black. This keeps following us around too. Seems unlikely we're going to play any of this, but I suppose it's possible we end up in black-red Knights out of this. So I think I'm actually going to take, well, we can take Prize Griffin or Weaselback, I think, is the most likely to actually make our deck here. Yeah, I'll play this in every green-white deck I have, generally, but it's understanding that it's still kind of a C-level card. All right, we'll take Griffin. And a Ritual here over Beanstalk. Weasel would have been a totally reasonable pick there. I think it was Weasel or Griffin. And here we have a Hengewalker if we want to lean heavy black, this is where I like picking up Ginger Brutes. Not every deck is a Ginger Brute deck, but it's a reasonable pick here. I don't think mono black is that much of a thing, so if I was sure, if mono black was a really strong archetype, I would just take the Hengewalker and try to lean towards that, but it's not, so we'll brute it up. Yeah, Tracker is a reasonable spec here. Yeah, Cottagers, this is all interesting. All of these could make the deck. Also, if we do, we're certainly not white yet. If we ended up in red and even in white, we could end up having a night theme, in which case just having a 2-drop night is, let me move this out. I actually think, yeah, I'm down for the 2-drop night. It has enough synergy with black and the other two colors, and white, not really green, but I'm gonna take dummy. Query. I don't think we're ever playing the Grange with how heavy black we are, but I guess we're probably closer to fortifying provisions than that card. The Grange here. Now again, we're not going to play that. I suppose there's some world in which Fling ends up in our deck. I hope not, though. There's a last pick Knight, so maybe there's something slowly coming together here in terms of black-white Knights. Certainly this Bake into a Pie helps with that. We can escape into the wilds for some gems. Maybe Tactician doesn't seem to be wheeling. I think, again, Gems is probably the disciplined pick. If you wanted to be gem disciplined, you could take Escape to the Wilds, but also this draft has been shaky so far. I find myself more inclined to pick gems when I feel like what I've got so far is a really strong start, so we'll take Bake. Oh yeah, no, Bake is the no question power pick. The question is it actually worth more gems or not? And that is open to debate. A couple of knights here. We got a Venerable Knight for 1 mana, of Youthful Knight for a couple. Guide Mother that's likely to wheel a Forever Young that did not wheel. So maybe we need to prioritize Forever Youngs a little higher. This is a place that we can take gems here. None of these is super impactful. Yeah, I'm down with that. I kind of didn't even see that the rare was still there. Flutter Fox is fine, but this is pretty underwhelming, and not much is going to wheel out of this pack. Maybe we get a Paladin on the way back. Red, are we locked into white yet? I guess that's the question. Maybe we're not. We could take Sirkara. Or yeah, Once in Future, also not the worst. Let's pull this one. A lot of different ways we could go here. This feels like a pivot pick, so I'll pull it. We have SYR for the Knight. We'll do Once for Once in Future, and Fox to just take Flutter Fox, and I'll even put Carver in. We could be green, and maybe you think Carver is better than Once. We don't have great white, but we have playable white, and Flutter Fox at 2 would be certainly playable and good. Sirkara is I'm not sure. Kara. Anyway, the Knight is solid, but also 5, which is pretty clunky. We kind of want to get lower down, I think. Hey, Fool Auto, how's it going? Yeah, it's kind of even split for Fox and Once, and then heavy support for speculating on the Red Knight. Yeah, I'm kind of with James. I feel like this is a really weird place to go from here. Like, if we really pivot into red, are we going to end up with a deck we're actually happy with? And if we do end up in white, we really do want the Fox. Although this might wheel. So maybe it's a free pick because we can still end up in white and wheel this Fox. Can't remember what happened yesterday. We've actually only drafted once since the bot update, so I don't know where Flutterfoxes are. Yeah, it's a 5-drop that's double red, though. It's not like this is 1 red or something. It does, you know, to cast this on curve, on average, 2/5 of your land need to produce red. That's not that hard in a heavy red, even in a heavy black deck. Yeah, it looks like we don't see any mill parts anymore. So I think they really just. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do it from an opportunity cost perspective. I'll go with also chat heavily wants this one, so we'll follow chat down on this. But I think Flutterfox might be the correct pick here, but it's also reasonable to try and gamble on wheeling it. So I'll take a stab here and we'll see. Hey, Secret Keeper. So it's not like totally, but I think this is a clear Bog Naughty. And even if we end up like black, white, not much food, it's still fine. But if we end up back in green, then it gets even better. I've heard Sir. I've heard that SYR is just Sir, and that it's SYR to be more inclusive, gender neutral. But no, I'm just saying. Well, like I'm keeping an eye on when and where we see Merfolk Secret Keepers. So it's just worth noting. Hey, here's a Pack 2, Pick 4 Keeper, because this is the first one I think I've seen in packs. So we're midway through our second draft. I'm not saying it means much, but and Bog Naughty is really just okay here, really just okay. And now we're at another pivot point. We've got Joust for a black-red Knight deck. We've got Youthful Knight for the white-black Knight deck. We've got Mireleaf Rider for which is a Knight, even though there's not much Knight synergy in black-green per se. But it is a 2-drop that we need. Like, we don't have much going on at 2. That concerns me. Hopefully we wheel this. That kind of makes me want... I mean, all these are 2-drops, but this isn't really a 2-drop. You know, you're not casting Joust on 2. And I don't care if Tournament Grounds wheeled. I don't think it's a particularly playable limited card. It's not good enough to help cast some of your creatures at the cost of being colored mana for your other stuff. But I'm going to pull this one because this is another interesting pick to me. We're going to go 20 on Joust, on Youth for Youthful, and on Rider for the Mireleaf Rider. Well, Silver Flame Ritual is a real card. Prized Griffin is a real-ish card, but no incentive. I agree that Ritual is like kind of the expectation that we may wheel that Fox. All right, we'll take Youthful. And also there was a Youthful Knight and another Knight in the second pick that might wheel. I don't think Shambling Suit is particularly good unless you're clearly in the blue-white artifact enchantment archetype. You know, I'm not interested in working hard to get a 3/3 for 3. And so this becomes appealing if you're consistently going to get it to be 4 power or above. Yeah, pretty clear Swordmaster here. Another dummy that if it wheeled, I wouldn't hate it, but we're going to take Swordmaster. Not the deck for Drown in the Loch. Take a second Reaper, a first Tempting Witch, which at least creates more fodder for Bog Naughty, but I don't think that's the priority. I don't know if this is good enough, though. It does create a Knight. We don't really have Knight synergies, per se, here. We could end up with them. We don't have them yet. Overlay. Overlay might not be working because it might still be too soon after a new update. I mean, I guess I should restart it. Maybe restarting it, maybe they'll fix it or something. Yeah, a couple of Smittens, I guess, do care about. Oh, update is available. Let's start the update. Yeah. Well, it says there's an update, so hopefully Cardboard Live is fixed. And based on curve, yeah, we'll take Witch here. So here's a Witch I like even better for this deck. Foreboding Fruit is nice, but I think we're off this now. And frankly, we're probably, like, I don't think we're playing all of these. Because I want to play this, so probably cutting Griffin or Carriage, but I'm going to take Barrow Witches. Robert, you say these things are happening in this deck? Right now, there's a Brute we may or may not play. A Jousting Dummy we're almost certainly going to play. A Witch makes some food. Bacon to Pie makes some food. And Carriage is an artifact. That's... But the thing is, we want to use the food. Food has a lot of uses around here. That's like 5 things that increase that thing's power, and we see about a third of our deck in a game, so... Oh yeah, sorry, I was focused on talking about that stuff, but yes, we'll take an easy Scaldron here. Youthful Knight I like better than a Skewer. I think we can pick up Skewers later. And this is the wheel. We took gems out of this pack, and that's good, because I would have taken Youthful Knight out of this pack, and instead we wheeled it, although it cost us a dummy. We could have dummy and Youthful Knight. We'll take Youthful Knight here. Funeral, maybe. Desperation. This may be a card for our friend the Shambling Suit, but I don't think it's a card for us. I'm going to take... Again, yes, I really don't want to play this, I suppose, so I'll take it, but we're not playing it. I don't think Provisions could be correct. And now, maybe a Cottage. I still think we're heavier black. I can believe Overperformer. I just don't think it was the pick there, though. Okay. Prioritize eggs. Hold on. Yeah, we could just switch into green or take eggs, but we're absolutely taking Garrick.
Watch out. These woods get awful dark.
Wow, Garrick, that's... you get awful dark. You gotta be so creepy. There definitely seems to be fewer mill parts floating around Stratic. We saw pack 2 pick 4 Secret Keeper, but haven't seen any Secret Keeper other than that in the... This is the second draft since the bot update. And trying to get Cardboard Live going, but the update doesn't seem to be liking me. Try running it again. You got the Resolute Rider here, or the Pathlighter. And, well, there was an update for Cardboard Live for Arena, but running... I installed the update, and I'm running Cardboard Live, but it's just flat not working. Yeah, Rider is tough if we are looking to play Garrick, because we're looking to put some non-Rider lands in our deck. But if we don't take the Rider, what are we taking? Then we get back to, like, potentially Pathlighting as a curve filler that has some potential, like with Reaper or whatever. If you think we could also, you know, we're pretty heavy into white, although not for incredible power, but at least in low drops. We only have 5 white, but 2 of them are Youthful Knights. If we cut these out of our deck, and I know this is weak too, but like our curve starts to look really rough without these, and we're pack 3, so we got to be careful here. And yeah, I think maybe the answer is foreboding fruit as a not white or green card. It just is the black we know we're going to play. And card draw is fixing when if we end up splashing Garrick. So yeah, let's take fruit as kind of the safe pick here, giving us a chance to duck back into green. If we cut any green, we haven't cut any green, so yeah, this is all we've got. But we could end up being 12-5 black-green, or we just take, I mean, here we go. Like what a tough draft this has been. We got... yeah, we can take this, but oh my god, going to this number of 2-drops, we're going to lose just on inability to do anything on turn 2. The Jousting Dummy is likely to wheel at least. I can feel you all wanting... Embrace the reality. I think I know what I want to do, but I'm very curious to see where the split is on this one. So we're gonna pull it for Hunter and Knight for Youthful Knight. Is there anything else we would consider? Or Cauldron and Tree if you want the Tree Folk. I'll do you want to go back to red? We're not going back to red. There's just a lot of things you could argue to pick. So fine, I'll do them all. Which, there's a lot of choices here. In fact, I should make it more longer. We'll make a 20-second poll. And you get Hunter, Knight, Cauldron, Tree, Witch, and Ken for Kenrith's transformation. That's a lot of options. But there are a lot of options in this pack. G-Pick, get out of here. And a red card can't be correct here. Not for this stuff. All right. Is the Knight even that great? It can be. It's nice to just play 2-drops. Then backing it with things like Scaldron is fine, but all right, we'll take Hunter. What are we even doing? Taking Jousting Dummy here just to... Oh, Noble's fine. We'll take Noble at 2. Nice 2-drop. Skewer we can at least play on 2. Squire we can play on 2 as a creature, but it's not a good one. Legion is the best card. Yeah, the Resolute Rider deck was there. Here. We've basically said we're abandoning white with this move. And by moving this stuff out now, I think I'll be moving it back in a few minutes, because that's how that works. We're at 18 cards. 19, 20, 22, 23. We need 5 picks. Yeah, we can get 5 picks out of this. And we could take the Archon and really look to be 12-5. I don't know if there's a way to do creature count. Sorry, Resolute Riders, what I mean if I said Archon. I think there's a legit argument for Legion or Rider and like wheel the Squire, wheel the Skewer. But my question is, I'm going to try and wheel the Squire or the Skewer for our 2-drop. Even though it's pretty tough to try and wheel things on pick 5. But I think we're going to be better off here. We're going to get 1 more dummy at least. And we have a couple things to do early. I am going to push this here. I'm going to take Lost Legion or Resolute Rider. And we're going to be heavy black with a touch of green for Adversary, Garrick, and Hunter. And I really don't want to add a crappy green card So I want to poll 15 Legion or Rider. Those are our two choices. And then we're going to see about wheeling a skewer or maybe the squire. But I'm hoping not to play a 2-drop green thing. I want green to be a splash here. I want to be heavy black, splash green at this point. Garrick again, and our pack one pick one was Clackbridge Troll. The coincidence engine is... Wow, look at that. Rider won 10-8, and then an absolute barrage of late Legion votes. I'm going to go with Legion. I agree with the Legion pick, actually. Nothing here for us. This is where we could take a tracker, but again, it goes really against what I'm trying to accomplish here with where we're headed with the deck. And Prophet, playable, but really we're clunky. Like, this is about as much thick big end as I want. Right now, I'm trying to go... That's the thing. I'm trying to go 12-5. That's my target, 12-5. And I don't want to play a tracker in that. Well, we could take Scarecrow. That would be a sad pick. Memory Theft is somewhat playable, but I guess we'll take Scarecrow. Desperation Scarecrow. Profit is decent, but too expensive. I don't want more. I don't want to add more expensive stuff here. What a perfect pick 7. Thank you, Swordmaster. Welcome. Welcome. Foreboding Fruit. Also, again, we're a little light at 3. Well, we're thickening at 3, I guess, but we'll take a fruit here. Now I would really like to wheel one of those skewers. I think a skewer would be decent in this deck now. No, I don't want the trick. If we take a trick, I might take this trick. Again, I really want to be as low on green as possible. This is a really bad trick. We could take another Ginger Brute, but I don't think this is a great Ginger Brute deck unless we do get a... like if we had Tree Folk or a Skewer already in the pile, I would like Ginger Brute more. We could take Ginger Brute on the spec of getting a Skewer. Scared of green. We have Lost Legions, and I just want to... Our deck is going to be more consistent if we can keep green low. I guess Brute is half a card with the Hunter. I still think it... I guess Lash is so bad I'll take the Brute on spec, but I'm really not happy with the Brute in this deck unless we have a way to pump its power. And the Squire did indeed wheel, but again, I'm hoping to not play it. We could take Lash, but fine, I'll take a Squire, but I hope we don't play that. Here's the dummy I was hoping for. And another one, so that really gets the Squire out of the picture, but we didn't get a Skewer back. Not sure how many Garricks we have, but I think we might... we have long enough to go in Eldraine that we might actually complete the Mythics, so I think I'm going to stop grinding Mythics for gems as well, because I think I want to just try and fill up our Mythics. Could this be 18 land? Maybe. Let's see what it looks like. We only get 2 cuts out of what we've got here anyway. And our numbers... 19-6, cutting some creatures. I like cutting a Brute here. Oh, I did? I thought yeah, you're right, D, that's true. Cutting at least a Brute. What else are we cutting? Could cut this Scarecrow, although it does slot in, and Garrick for 7 isn't awful, and Savvy Hunter for 4 isn't awful. Yeah, we could just cut it too. Why do you want 18 lands, Robert? Just because of Reaper, or... I mean, we have some stuff, but I don't... Like, this doesn't scream 18 land to me. We have, for one thing, we have 2 Foreboding Fruits to help us find land. Sorry, got a little text there. You can even cut the other Brute. I don't mind the 1, I guess. It has some utility at being unblockable in a stall, and the Witch can chuck it. And the Savvy Hunter can draw half a card off it. Yeah, I think we can get away without Scarecrow. Let's just cut the Scarecrow. It's so bad. I'm down with that. And then... El Clunko interface for update. This is why I don't update my basics. It's so dumb that it requires this level of clicking to change to some basics that you like. But we'll do it. I'll do my faves. Everybody's got these, so it's not that special or anything, but they're just so beautiful. $11.6 or $12.5, I guess is the question. Again, those of you who want 18, we have 2 Foreboding Fruit. That doesn't really make me want to push to 18. I just want to get the equivalent. Foreboding Fruit is like the equivalent of 18 mana, because you just draw so many extra cards, you're going to get your mana, you're going to get more mana. We could run a Cottage in this deck, huh? Kind of fits that plan. All right, let's go 12-5 with the Cottage. And we'll call it Brutal. Or something related to... How about getting trolled? Because we are totally getting trolled by the system right now. And since it's a pack one, pick one, it's not that big of a spoiler. It's possible, Tron, that someone drafted the mill deck before the update and are just playing it after. It's possible, but it's also possible the mill deck is still gettable sometimes if the bots don't end up in blue. Yeah, Banana, we went long on a lot of stuff today, but we're about to play. Let's do it. Update numbers. Oh, that's right. Power poll. Let's see. We are on this. I think this is your power poll options for best of one. All right, we'll keep this. Too bad we didn't find a 2. We got a glut of 3s here. Bunch of 2s, but none showed up for us. Probably go Lost Legion into Reaper. And Ginger Brute has to take a turn off. That's one reason I'm a little down on, like, the Brute isn't amazing early because it costs you a mana to successfully attack with it that you often don't have. Let's go find us some Garrick. I don't think we want either of these at this point. We're looking for our green and our power. You'd trade with the Raider. Surprised to hear that. Why? There's our green. Probably just gonna bake the Guardian here, so we can keep attacking. Might be a little early to use our removal though. Yeah, we don't. It's true we don't have much flying defense. No, we don't really have any flying defense in this deck, so we got to be somewhat aggro. Could also activate Brute, attack with both, offer this trade, and then drop fruit. We could draw some cards. Yeah, we'll try and get him for a couple cards. Maybe just want the Witch. Actually, I'm gonna do this. If we play Witch, we don't have something to threaten to trade with the Guardian. So I'm gonna save the removal. I don't think it's right to bake that into a pie. It's not impactful enough when we could trade our Legion for it. And let's go for... I mean, the Witch is developing our board, but not in a super significant way. I like more options. I'm gonna get more options with the fruit. Yeah, it's good. Then we have Bognati to cast next turn, which we wouldn't have if we didn't fruit. That's kind of what I was looking for. Just something better to do next turn, really. Although killing Eleonora, not the worst thing we could do either. That's a problem card. So, hang tight, Bognati. I think we're going to bake a knight into a pie here and get in once more with... Oh, does it cost more to target? Oh, we can't. I forgot about Eleonora's power. I just thought of her as a hand-size ETB draw card knight, not... I forgot that extra clause. So, doesn't have first strike, though. Maybe we could play enough down to make them question whether they want to attack, or we just take 7 or whatever for a turn. That's not the worst. So let's just cast Bognati and hold tight. Yeah, we could make him discard, and then Eleonora would be worse. I still like trying to save your Reaper until they're a little bit lower on cards in hand. The fact that Eleonora and Raider have both drawn, and Guardian have drawn Oppo cards is pretty big game here. It's kept their hand very full, making this Reaper way less impactful. Where's Hat? It still can be good, but we want to try and, let's let him play out. We're not going to get two great things here is the bottom line. We're definitely going to cast Harvest Fear before they have reduced their hand size to the point where I think it'll be like a really damaging effect. And here we can chump or take, well, it's a 7/4. Trouble is, if we double block and they have bake, then we are just blown out. So we gotta say no blocks. No, I'm not gonna chump. I know, and if they play a flyer, we could be a little it could be nerve-wracking, but we have Bognati, food, and food coming, and food ooh. Rough. But they have a tough choice. We'll see how much they like their hand, because if they take Reaper, that means they like their hand. And if they... But no matter what, we get one more piece of food, and Bognati gets to start chucking food around, so... Oh, that's good. They're in the tank. They really don't want to face the Reaper. They fear the Reaper, but they don't want to face food and removal. Like, this is a lot. We bake as removal, and then it turns into more removal. Like, really, bake is a 2-for-1. Just as much as Reaper is. And it's only spells that are taxed on Eleonora. We could just... we actually can throw the Ginger Brute and the food right now. They do have runaway mana. We could attack and see what kind of pauses there are for starters. We got a lot of cards, it's true. Let's start with an attack from the Bognate. And I'm going to leave the Ginger Brute back because we want potentially access to bake plus tax mana here. Seems like they are pausing, so we're going to play around Runaway together. Yeah, and to that end, I think we just play Witch. Now, if they attack with Eleonora, I mean, Bognati is -3/-3. It doesn't have to kill the thing for it to be very impactful to the limited, to the board state, to combat. So, let's see how they want to attack here, because I'm willing to throw a piece of fruit at Sir Eleonora that's attacking to threaten to make it a 2-1 or a 3-1, depending on when they attack. And then we threaten a creature trade. And if they want to, you know, basically at that point, we're just trading 3 mana and a piece of food for their runaway together. Oh, that's interesting too. I mean, we could kill the Guardian shields down here, but probably actually just want to kill even the Fairy Vandal itself shields down. What do you think of that? Let's take out this Vandal while the taking out's good. Of course, then they get a 5/4 that has a pretty clean attack. We can kill it, but we do have a 5/4 we're facing right after. And then we have to maybe start chumping. We're playing around Runaway together. If we wait, then they have Runaway together. It could be the reason for the pause, it's true. Well, they might have only done this because we tapped out below pi levels. I mean, they know we have pi, and then we tapped out below it. The Vandal does explain the pauses, but it doesn't mean Runaway together is not in their hand. And it gives some evidence that it might not be, but it doesn't mean we just immediately stop playing around that. Okay, well, it undid it all. I tried to race it, but at least it undid it. I tried to kill the Vandal, but I took too long to think about it. We could chump with Brute and then throw food and not even eat the food. Let's try this. I'm going to try this. I'm going to go ahead and put a point of damage on Sir Eleonora. Or I'll block and then throw food at Sir Eleonora and see what Oppo wants to do. Because I should have done it before, but then I got into a spot where I was already at declare blockers. Yeah, we could throw the Brute at the Vandal. That could be what we do this turn. I think they just bounce it. All right, I'll throw the Brute. That's fair, since I kind of did this wrong. We'll try taking out this flyer. I think they probably have run away together. It felt like that's what they were holding, but it's not the worst if they do that, because then we untap with bacon to a pie. Have not played this optimally though. Little clunkiness in my execution has been suboptimal. Hey, look, everybody, it was run away together. Shocking. Yeah, if they have a counter to back up that runaway together, we could be in trouble, but yeah, we're going to definitely... We just have to attempt to bake the knight into a pie and see what happens. Looks like it'll be successful. They are tapped out down to 1 blue. And we even have the 3 to pay for the uncommon counterspell if they have that. So we're going to do that and then drop the noble. Yeah, they could have drown, that's true. But... Oh, in fact, I again forgot the tax. So if they have the counterspell, they get us. They could have the uncommon one as well. So it could be drown. There's 2 uncommon counterspells that could get us here, but we gotta try. Second runaway also. I mean, again, at some point, you gotta try to beat the other player's cards. Snap block on the Guardian and hope they don't have tricks. Again, if they have tricks, we're extra screwed, but what are you going to do? Worth noting, well, I could still play that here. Yeah, and Bognati coming down on 8 mana means we get to play try to play the Bognati and actually have fruit activation. This smells of counter magic as well, but again, what are you going to do? We're gonna try and resolve our spells. Long pause there, but they did not counter it. That makes me want to hold off on the noble and attempt the Eleonora shrinkage plan. I know they have the fairy, but they also have 3 unknown cards, so of course I'm nervous. Wouldn't they have just disputed it last turn, though? What did they... Didn't they... Well, I guess they had drown, so they could do either one, but... Dispute seems like a weird thing to suspect them of here. We might be in trouble. Maybe. That's all right. We get Garrick and we'll be fine. Could double block to at least kill Eleonora. Bognati's not going to do anything about this. Our only hope right now is to draw Garrick and kill the Serpent. So let's at least try and trade for Eleonora. We cannot block 7 power. We needed to eat food or we were just gonna die. We were forced to eat food, basically, which took away that option. Insult, injury, etc. Now I think we don't have anything. Now even Garrick doesn't save us. So let's draw it. Barrow Witches. Well, Barrow Witches... Trouble is, it just doesn't give us anything to do about this serpent this time. So... we could play, let's see, we get to 9. I guess we can get to 9, survive that again, and chump. And we need 4 mana to eat 2 food, so we still have room for the Noble. Can't sack the chump to the Noble, need to eat both of this food to not die, assuming they make Serpent unblockable. Yeah, Combustinator. I played Magic Online for its entire life cycle until I started Arena, and then I just find it's really hard to play that implementation of Magic once you've tasted smoother gameplay. So, yeah, I gotta eat twice. We'll keep the Noble in case we can get it big somehow. I guess it combines with Barrow Witches to trade for Eleonora. One time Garrick for making it interesting. Come on. Because that would be interesting. Come on, Magic Gods. Garrick would be really interesting here. Oh, you're going to do something to make it uninteresting, aren't you? No? Huh? Drawing a card here? Yeah. That's the only reason they would play the Vandal there. Clackbridge. Awesome, but not good enough, sadly. We'll play it for the funsies, though. Really, they should just not do anything and let me attack with the troll if I want. Because, yeah, maybe we could have found something to get us above 7. You know, like Curious Pear to create some food and eat it, you know, would give us more. But we're done. Losing to bombs, that happens. Our bombs failed to beat their bombs. Oops, I don't get to claim a win, though. That's just wishful thinking, Ryan. Been on a hot streak, so I'm used to updating the left number. Yep. Definitely getting trolled. I like the box art matching the background art. We only have 2 of the best rares and mythics you could open. Somewhat updating the win column has been muscle memory the last 2 days, yeah. What's humble about it? I'd say it's neither humble nor a brag, just an observation. Variance has created a short-term muscle memory. We'll keep this. Misery's End, when I had Troll on an offline draft on my paid account, I played Troll into my opponent's Hushbringer. That was great. To an extent, Fenor, but I always like to point out that it's not about how much gems I've banked, it's about how much limited I am playing per week, you know? It would be more, like, the more interesting number would be, like, how much limited would I be at if I was running closer to 0? 0 gems, that is. I.e. spending all those gems on more limited than I do on stream. That. Attack. In standard ranked now, by the way, I scoop to witches, ovens, and cats on turn 1. I just scoop. I'm just so uninterested in playing oven cat decks, playing against them on standard, that I just scoop to them now. So their win percentage is even better against me. Do we want to keep all of that? No. Swordmaster. I guess we keep Swordmaster. Maybe we're just supposed to dig to our good stuff, though. Scaldron is like removal. It is removal, so maybe we should keep that. I'm not sure about this, gang. What do you think? We want all this? I'm tempted because it's all spells, but, you know, Garrick and Clackbridge are in our deck somewhere. Yeah, maybe Swordmaster is a little greedy here, but we should keep removal. Yeah, I play faster off stream. A lot of talk around here. Let's see. We could play the Cauldron out, but we still can't threaten. Might as well attack here. Yeah, we can take it out. If we do, they're just going to sack it and get a bunch of food. Maybe we're okay with that. I think I'm going to save the Scaldron for future considerations and just drop this Witch. This is great against flyers. We're not really a flyer deck. We're trying to grind them out. Looks like they're going to try and grind us out. Let's see who's grindier. Yeah, I suppose a Tree Folk upgrade would be annoying. But that's why I wanted to wait. I think it's more important to kill the adversary here. At 5 mana, we don't get it all. But we do get Cauldron with the threat of Noble activation. Yeah, but you don't have any collection, Mike. I like having a collection. But if you don't care about a collection, I think basically I would scale back what Mike is doing. I think Mike is playing too many accounts, as is evidenced by the huge surplus in gems that he has. But certainly if all you're interested in is limited and you're pretty decent at it, you can just juggle a bunch of free accounts and not even pay the $5. Just free to play limited. I don't want to be hasty about making a noble bigger when we have other uses for food. I guess maybe that's why they wanted to feed us an adversary opportunity. They'd rather have the hunter. But we don't have any knights in the yard, so we're going to hold off on that. But let's definitely drop the Lost Legion for starters, see what's coming. Hey, there we go. A fine friend. We'll drop the swamp, keep the troll. And we'll drop a dummy over saving food availability, although threatening a 3/3 noble is a little bit more relevant here. Although I think I just like threatening to double block the hunter with the legions and everything. We can even add the noble in, but we probably don't need a dummy out right now. I'm going to leave the mana open. Having the dummy down isn't really going to do that much for us, and threatening noble and food chucking and eating is all pretty good. I do, stranger. Okay. Interesting they're going for that, but you got it. Am I going to slow play the troll here, like to avoid something like bacon to a pie? I don't know. If you slow play it, if they have it, they have it. And if they don't have it and you slow play it, you're just kind of waiting till they do have it. But it's nice to get someone to empty their hand a bit before you drop your bomb. But also, if I don't have any other things to do, I'm just going to do it. Oh, that's true. Good point, James. I didn't think that through. They baked our noble because anything else they baked we could have sacked to the noble. And the creatures are fairly equivalent, so it actually makes complete sense what Appa was up to. Still going to save our food here, though. And, yeah, I'm going to make him have another bake. And the nice thing about the troll when they're tapped out like this is you're going to get some value right away no matter what. We're going to gain 3 and draw here. One reason to keep a swamp here is fear of Reaper. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to protect a little bit against Reaper so that we can at least hold on to like a Barrow Witches if they make us pitch 2 cards. The goose is loose. Yeah, well, with the hunter, a goat is half card. It does suggest maybe they have an answer to the troll, but it also could just suggest that they feel like digging for an answer to the troll is going to be better for them than just waiting around. Yeah, they're doing some serious digging here. But wow, they're doing it well. We're getting some value out of the troll, but boy, oh boy, they're drawing 1,000,000 cards over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, the sheer number of cards ahead they are is pretty impressive. But our troll is still pretty impressive, and they still have to do something about it. Nice. We'll hold on to the cottage to get back our troll. Can drop a swamp here, though. And if we get if we get discard 2, we'll discard swamp and dummy, and it's not bad. I do want to build out our mana to some extent, which doesn't do anything yet. I don't want to play it. I think I want to use this stuff as the card advantage tools they are, and right now we're just kind of riding on the troll and kind of making Oppo do something to survive the troll. Hey, no fair.
You've got a good head on those shoulders. For now.
We gotta, like, kill Garrick somehow instantly now. Now I wish I'd played the Barrow Witches or the dummy. We'd have more threat on Garrick, but I obviously wasn't expecting Garrick. Can I chuck... I wish I could chuck food at Planeswalkers. Well, that's actually not bad. Yeah, we get they can get a couple of wolves out, but we should be able to get Garrick from here. That's exciting. So we'll go Ginger Brute. Go get it. And we'll top ourselves a Clackbridge Troll. And now I'm down for a dummy. And if they get our last 2 cards, I'll accept the loss of the Witch here, knowing that we get Clackbridge Troll coming back. I could just play the Witches too, but Witch gets back a Knight if we wait until one's dead. Well, Garrick will be dead next turn. Oh, yeah, you're right. They could sack a troll, right? We can just, let's see what they do about that. Right, sorry, it's not sack a troll. They're going to make wolves, and they can use their oven. Let's see. Yeah, they can oven away a wolf to keep Garrick at 1. Well, we'll throw the Brute. Maybe that's our plan. Throw enough food by the end of this. They can make a lot of food. So yeah, not a particularly realistic plan, but it is looking very grim. I'm gonna play out my hand now. Now they're saying no problem attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they're willing to trade all their creatures for the troll. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. They have plenty of toughness. So no wonder they're letting us even attack with the troll now. But I think we just... Now I want to do this. Including the witch. I mean, I'm sending everything. I don't know if this is even going to work, but this is what we're trying. Garrick's at a virtual 3 here. Why do you want Troll at face? I feel like we lose if Garrick survives, so I'm just trying to take out Garrick, but maybe you're thinking we had a line to a damage win. Let's see. So this setup keeps Garrick at 1. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, we'll do it like this. No, I think Garrick... Well, it depends on how the count... Maybe it dies... He dies before the counters happen. Hey, look, a trick. We're all very surprised. Yeah, losing to that card, right? We're really losing to this card. Well, about to be 0-2 with a Garrick Clackbridge deck. No Justice in Magic. $17-23. Maybe we can deck them. They're only going to make 2 wolves every turn for the rest of the game. So's ours. Our deck is nice. Damn it. Six, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7. We can just do all of that. What knights? We have a. We can do that. Let's just do this first. Get a Legion back and cast that. Almost scoop worthy, but we'll keep playing it out here. There's ours. Is that going to be enough even? What does that even do for us? I guess it allows us to kill some stuff. It's not best of 3, so we're definitely going to take it, see if it helps. If Garrick doesn't help, we're really dead.
We were born for the hunt.
That's the thing. Their engine here of sacking wolves to the oven is actually the super important thing here, because it's going to get Garrick to emblem levels well before we have Garrick at emblem levels. So they will have attacks, and they will have fewer wolves, but they're drawing so many cards off the engine that it seems unlikely for us to succeed on that line. We don't have much else. I'm gonna try for a trade here. Am I being dumb? Is there something on board? They're basically tapped out, so I think that's fine. Do we want the legions? I could get rid of the witch. We could just go like, or Barrow Witches. No, I guess we want a Lost Legion over a Barrow Witches. See you, Robert. Draft was great. Draft was interesting and tough, but ended up with a good-looking deck. Note, we've got a Garrick on top of our library and a Clackbridge in our graveyard, but we're about to lose to the first Garrick of this game. I don't want to give Garrick any more counters. Why block? Because eventually it matters, and if we can, it looks like they have to trade 1-for-1 here, and because I'm just willing to trade 1-for-1 for this Lochthwain Paladin. Yeah, but improving the Swordmaster, it just isn't even the relevant thing here. Like, so if you all would rather have a dead 1/3 or a dead 3/4 or extra 4 damage so that we can get an extra 1 on the, like, none of that makes sense to me. They're not close to dead. Anybody who thinks they're close to dead because they're at 8 life, I mean, they have a Witch's Oven and an expendable 5 toughness creature. This might be our only out. Oppo has had an emergency that's pulled them away from their computer. Lightning Red deck is 2-0. What does blocking with Tempting Witch instead do? Saves us 2 life. How? What am I missing? What do you mean? Oh, Tempting Witch on Wolf. Yeah, that makes sense. I just didn't think that part through. Easy game. That's why we don't scoop. Sorry, Oppo. I truly am. I don't know what happened to Oppo to not allow them to finish their game, but I bet they're pretty frustrated, and I'm sorry for them on that. Yeah. Hope it was just like some dumb computer problem and not like, holy crap, an emergency is affecting me. I will sheepishly add a win, but sure didn't feel like we were going to earn one there. We had to be given one. All right, let's keep this. And we on... all right, maybe Oppo will play a 2-drop green creature, a 1 or a 2-drop green creature. Well, maybe. I don't know. That's not an encouraging start on that front. I'm going to be greedy cottage-wise. We'll see if we have so many swamps. I think it's pretty likely we'll find ourselves another one before we need to play the cottage. And maybe the adversary will be dead at that point. And we at least have a Legion on 3 now. That's great. And there's that swamp. I guess we'll play it out. Don't need a forest yet. Don't need to show him anything yet. Another forest. We do want land because we want to get to Garrick on time. I think the jousting dummy is not going to be looking good in the double strike world. 1 toughness against double strikers. Not the best. We will keep the we could even bury the forest. We're at 5 of 6. It's likely we'll find a 6th. How greedy are we? Probably going to find a 6th land. East is like too greedy. A lot of chat is my style. Pretty darn greedy. You know what? I'm going to leave it on top, and here's why. We're going to go adversary. If the adversary doesn't die before we get to 6, we actually wouldn't mind drawing a 7th land, because then we can hold cottage as a spell. No, James, our opponent, something happened and our opponent disappeared and we clocked them. They roped out. It was not a very satisfying win, and we all hope Oppo is doing fine, but hoping it's just a technical difficulty from Oppo, but got a cheap win. So, do we want a dead red cap, or do we want... Oh, it looks like they're keeping adversary back to block. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then we can cottage back the adversary. If they have a barge in, that's a real rough situation for us, but they didn't. Whew. Why block? Because they were going to block with Ogre Errant anyway, so we weren't going to get free cards out of it. And now we can cottage to get adversary back. Legion could have killed it? Oh, that's true. Sorry, in my head it had Menace. So that was a... You could punt that if you wanted. In my head, they were going to attack with the Errant too. That's really what I was thinking. Yeah, now we got Troll, so I guess just Troll into Garrick. I would rather get the Troll back if they manage to kill it, so let's just do that. Looks like they're going to try and race the Troll. Understandable. They can get Weasel back in. They can get in for... You know, if they fully pump, they're getting in for 8 here. So we're like trading 8s. They probably scoop to the Garrick. Garrick dropping a couple wolves against the Menace threat here seems fine. Although we got to watch out for this Slipper. Maybe they do... find a way to tag us for more than we're expecting. I mean, that's one extra. They can get 9 here. But yeah, now they're holding back. I guess they want to pump forever. Yeah, they're going to go for a trade here, and then we're going to break their hearts with the most sick Cottage Patrol on top, cast Garrick, they scoop. That's what's going to happen here. They might scoop to Cottage. That's why we have to do it. We have to do it all really quickly. Okay, don't scoop yet, Oppo. Now you can scoop.
The hunt begins. Stay on the trail.
Oppo, toughen it out. Denethor, you are something else. I would have scooped this by now on this one. Yeah, it could be quest related, but usually people don't bother. I guess they can tap the troll a lot, but we're fine with that. You want to kill something or make more wolves? Yeah, very good, Fenor. Very good. I'll send in 2 wolves on this board. Just 1. I'll send in 1. I'll keep a lot of defenders with this slipper. I'm not in a big hurry here. I think we just keep making wolves for a couple turns. They have no hope. This is why exactly why I wanted to keep a bunch of defenders. Like, we do want to keep Garrick alive, and this is all possible. Let's see. Bring our red cap. There's no... So we're going to double here. Chump here. Trample on both. Garrick can take 1, though, right? And they're tapped out. You want to double here. If we double here, we lose. We just get eaten. Oh, taking 4 because they had a double strike. Yeah, I guess we'll double it all. Now they've had enough. Well played, Denethor. You stuck it out.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Thank you for that sub. Appreciate that. I read Lord of the Rings to my children. It was their kind of, well, I guess we read like Lloyd Alexander. I read him the Book of Three, that the Chronicles of Prydain before we read Lord of the Rings, but kind of Chronicles of Prydain was their warm up, and then we launched into the big one. We're gonna keep this. Drop a cottage on turn 1, forest 2. Then we have sword masters we can play, and we are full of swamps in here. So then we get Lost Legion and eventually find a swamp, and then 2 Lost Legions should help us get this Garruk resolved, or at least cast. I'm gonna let them get to 50 Shades on their own. That's not a dad book. I'm not gonna be greedy about this land, though. It's too far off to hope, and we're gonna need to hit our land drops untapped, I think, to do everything we want to do. That's another series I read to them. We enjoyed that. I liked it. Kind of twisted. We liked it. I don't know. Maybe we're just easy. Oh, 50 Shades. Okay. It got very weird though. Yeah, but I like weird Stratic. I thought it was pretty had some pretty edgy weirdness for a kids for a series, for a young adult series, I thought. Let's see. I did the audiobook of the first book of Magicians, liked it well enough, then started watching the show with my daughter. Then we realized the show started getting way out of whack with the books, and we hadn't read the book. Anyway, one of those situations where a combination of the show and the books ended up putting me off the series entirely just because I was so confused. But I want to get back to it. I like the Magicians is kind of like Harry Potter, but brooding teens and college kids instead of brooding middle schoolers and teens. Definitely darker too. They're green, so that this all looks great. We're gonna keep this. Well, kind of do want to get to more lands, but I'm not passing this adversary. We're gonna get a swamp, and then we'll keep the adversary there too. Well, now we got to get ourselves to Garruk just so we can stop the Paladin. We don't have anything in our hand that can block a 5/5. All right, let's go with Swordmaster. Swordmaster for Drain, because we need to get a life cushion here. Into Swordmaster. Or we could actually just do Swordmaster Drain into... Yeah, I want to do it this way. It's not maximum because we don't get this one out, but I think this is a decent sequence. Yeah, Legion Swordmaster was the other way to go. I could have done Legion and then Curry Favor. But I think this will give us the cushion to make it to Garruk. But yeah, maybe I could have set up for better drains over the course of a couple of turns. But I think once I started with the Curry Favor, I needed to follow through on that plan to use all our mana the best we could. And here we get adversary for cheap with the Swordmaster. And this Acolyte also gives us no great attacks, which also kind of stinks. Yeah, ideally we find a land on top and then Legion finds us our 6th. At least they're not doing anything else that threatens our situation if we can get rid of this Paladin. All right, Legion. That was really bad to not hit a land there. But one thing we can do here, if we miracle find 2 lands, great. But even if we just find 1, we can at least set up for Tempting Witch, eat food next turn to give ourselves options. And I guess if we attack here, they're just going to block with Rider, so we're not going to get anywhere with Adversary right now. Let's Legion, though, and hope we find some land. Any land will do. It's all good here. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it to 6 mana so we can kill the Paladin with Garruk. And then go away non-lands. And then ideally, they don't do anything else to add to the... Because Garruk, besides the Paladin, Garruk is very well protected against everything else they're doing. So our plan here is that dealing with the Paladin is enough. And we could be in a spot... Do you want to throw away a Swordmaster to get 6 life back? Maybe that we do that next turn. Yeah, East and I are thinking about the same thing. But we have enough of a life cushion. I mean, we're going to take 10 right now. I guess we can Bog Naughty and chump. Yeah, we should represent Pump. That's reasonable. I think we can say... I think we need to do that at some point. The benefit of doing it now is that we know they only have 1 creature that eats a Swordmaster. And if we wait until next turn, they could drop another creature that also eats a Swordmaster, and then it gets much worse for us. And this is also like presuming that we're going to find land on top. And what do you know? They play something that also eats a Swordmaster, and so it gets much worse for us. We don't find the food we wanted, or the land we wanted, and now we got to, like, make food and hope. This is kind of sad, folks. Kind of sad. But we're also not dead. We're now in a spot where we go to 4, we play Bog Naughty, we chump with the Bog Naughty, we untap, and then we find our 6th land for Garruk. So if we're land on top, we're not dead.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Well, isn't that poetic? 4 land and these 2 in hand. And we can't even pump this to chump, so now we are just literally dead. No, like we can eat food and not be dead. All right. We're still only mostly dead.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
No, this is 17 land. Yeah, send in the life linkers is another desperation play we can make, but we don't need to make it yet. And it now becomes desperation because we just lose 2 of them. If only you knew, Oppo. That was really ugly and frustrating. I don't really want a sequel or a reboot of that movie. All right, this looks reasonable. We get to go first even. Yeah, like a lot of content from that era and around, it is not very diverse. We're a little more grindy. This looks like a little more aggro. I think I want to leave the noble back to try and trade for the Rimrock and just drop the hunter. All right, perfect. We get to attack. And we could... I'm going to fruit here because I want to find land for the carriage. The witch doesn't actually do all that much. And if we fruit with adamant, we get to draw a card. We will draw 3 cards here. I guess maybe that's a reason to do the witch. But no, I'm gonna do this. Neat. Found a brute even. Can't play anything. We've played our land for the turn, so I'm just gonna hold, and we can sack fruit to draw. Sack food to draw as we wish. And now we wish, because I want to find land. Cool. Found land. Drop it and see if they have bacon to a pie or what they're up to here. It's a lot of cards and a lot of mana for not doing anything on 4. From presumably a low to the groundish black-red knight deck. And we can go witch dummy, but I think we just do carriage here. We do have a card draw here if we want to sack brute and food. Which we do. Because they're going for the barrage. You could make an argument we want the brute to close out from 10, but I think I'd rather have the card. But let's show him Garrick. Maybe that'll end it real quick.
You're not scared of dogs, are you?
That was enough for Oppo. Sometimes you play your busted cards, and they win. Gonna update the record, take a short bio break, and we'll be back to finish out this event. Hold tight. Hey everybody, thanks for hanging out. Let's get back to it. Gotta win more than 3 games with this deck. Come on. I want 5. So want. I'm a mess. I'm a wreck. Life is hard. All right. East is an Eels fan. Well, we could get aggro or play Swordmaster. I think I'll just play Swordmaster. Well, Shambling Suit's enough to put my brakes on here. Swordmasters have been underwhelming this event so far. We have another Legion. I'm going to say no thanks on the land. And really no thanks on the carriage. Let's go dig for our super powerful stuff. I think that makes sense to me. I'm going to do that. Might regret not keeping the land, but we do have another Lost Legion. That's one reason I did it. So I'm going to Legion here, and then we have an attack with the Ginger Brute. But now I do want to land. I like to get Naughty out. But we don't need 2. Let's take the 1. Definitely looks like an All That Glitters deck. You're not wrong about that. Drop the Naughty, and they're going to have to use that on the Archon. Throw the Ginger Brute at the Archon. If it lives, let's hope Bognati does not die. Although it can't be trapped in a tower, and white-blue doesn't have anything that's going to make Bognati not work. That is as clear and clear as a outflank could possibly be. Yeah, so we gotta take it. That's just an outflank. And we need to We need to chuck that food before giving up on the Bognaughty. We probably have to block at some point, though. I just wish we had more food. If we had double throw food, that would be amazing. But we can play dummy and still do all that. So I'll play dummy. Yeah, Mike is like, you can give up your Swordmaster now, and he's right. One of the nice things is if this they're going to eat the Smitten Swordmaster, we'll get a couple life out of it, but then we actually get to bring it back and loop the Curry Favor. Although we can't attack with anything because of the tax. Boo. Yep, now we can't because we need to sack the food. Can't do it. Can't even bother with the brute. Forgot about the tax. And now we basically have to accept the outflank. It's too bad. Yeah, well, Mike might be behind. Did you mean kill before they untap? Probably should just kill before they untapped. But now... Now we're going to go ahead and, again, face the music here. Oh, they might have so tiny. I guess that doesn't matter. Shine Chaser, just, yeah, let's block that. In fact, it does matter. We'll block the one that could get bigger. Yeah, Squire's now a blowout. That's what the point Mike's making. This outflank we knew about, but had to give ourselves a chance to at least try and take something out along the way. Not punished for the not doing the play Mike suggested. Well, we get their last two cards, but it doesn't save us from dying is the problem. I guess we send in Swordmaster and one Legion. It does go to the graveyard to get back with the Barrow Witches, though. So now the question is, do we need to do the Barrow Witches, get Swordmaster move now, and gain 3? We go to 10? Or I guess we just reap their hand and we do that next turn. Okay.
Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar.
Thank you, Spiffomatic. Appreciate that. How do we not die, though? I guess we Barrow Witches here for the drain, and then next turn we have Witch and Eat. It's not amazing. Didn't that let them save something? But save it from what? They didn't save anything. They just wanted to get the Shepherd into, rather than discard the Shepherd, they'd rather go one down on land and have the Shepherd available later. Sure. Good as way as any to end this event. You gotta be kidding me. All right. That's one of the better 3/3 decks I've had in terms of raw power of the high end. Well, if they do the egg, then they're pitching the egg and their artifact count is down. Really, we went 2 and 4 in that event. It's just one of our opponents disconnected before they beat us. We won game 2 because they disconnected. That's what I'm talking about, or whatever that obvious loss was that is surprising. It was only because of disconnect. Would you ever force decks if you were testing for a format? I don't think that's how you'd want to do it, because I mean, part of testing for a format is testing how you how to draft it, and it depends on who you're testing with. If you've got if you're in a team that's testing with 8 people, then you all want to be practicing your drafting skills. You don't want to say, okay, everybody force something and we'll see what happens. You want to just actually build up your drafting thought process and skills for a given format. We're 2-0 with the mono red we started yesterday. First, let's let YouTube off the hook. I'm gonna hop to Soapbox. Say thank you all for watching on YouTube. Appreciate it. Anytime you can make it live to the stream, we'd love to have you. But thanks for watching. See you next time.